Day 6, and today is story time. Yeah, just wanting to tell a bit of a story here. About 4 years ago, I was just graduating from my animation school in France, and I was super excited because I got my first job in Vancouver. I didn't even know where Vancouver was in the map of the world, you know? It's like, oh my god, this is so far away. I was so happy to just travel and come for my first job. I was really exciting. I was really excited. Excited. I was really exciting. Excited. Oh Jesus. Exciting is a hard word apparently. Anyway. um I I started my first job in the animation industry, and I was full of hope and dreams, and I was completely dedicated to doing my best at this new job, and I was really happy to follow my dreams because I really, really love the art of animation and drawing animation. It was uh, always has been magical. And during this first year, there was just there was like the project I was on was very, very intense, and I was really pushing myself to do my best. There was this sense of like wanting to do as well as possible and as fast as possible, and like there was always like the there was a sense of like really needing to be 100% in the project, and starting to need to have some overtime um, to be able to make the deadlines, make sure it was good enough of quality to send to the client, and there it started to like have a little bit more weight. And like some days passed, some weeks passed, and there was like more and more sense of like, oh, having to make it to the deadline and having to be perfect, and sense of stress and anxiety arriving. And then there was just like starting to have coffee and started to have like sodas or like to just have energy and just keep with it, because needing to do overtime during the evenings, during to do overtime during the weekends, and not a lot of time to rest. And when I was even coming back home, there was just this sense of really loneliness because it was super hard at the beginning. I didn't know how to speak English as well. I had no friends because I just moved out of the country. I hopefully I had dance because I that was kind of a relief to be able to just connect with some people without having to use the language. But there was a sense of like my whole world was just my work for quite a long time. And then like there was there was a point, I think it was at the end of the project or something like this, where I noticed that I had been spending months of my time without having like without recalling anything that I actually seen about the country, or make new friends or anything. My whole world just turned into my work. And I noticed at the end of the project that I actually didn't even care about the project. I didn't, the movie I was working on, I wouldn't even have watched it in the theaters. This is just like not something I was aligning with, or that I really enjoyed the story about, or something like this. In that moment, I just noticed I just wasted a year of my life. Basically, it's not exactly that I wasted it. I had like experiences and learning opportunities, but I had a sense of like something just was missing. Something was missing My sense of joy, my sense of purpose, of meaning, just fell out of the blue, just like I didn't even know where it was anymore. I woke up one day going back to work again, and then stared at the screen and asking myself, like, what the hell am I doing here? Just this complete sense of like, what is my life for? Who am I? Like, just existential crisis, like that happens. But having this clear sense of like the art that I really enjoy doing turned into uh pushing myself, striving, needing to be a certain way, needing to uh like completely like engulfing into stress and anxiety, and it's just the joy of making art disappeared because I was not creating for myself. I was not doing anything for myself really. I was or all the I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to be um I was trying to be like the employee model, like the perfect employee or something like this, and like it felt void of something that I didn't know what was for a while. But that was definitely a point where I was like, I there is something bigger for me here, and I'm not quite sure what it is yet. I think that started for me like a journey of self-reflection and introspection that just created a lot of things. But I was just burning out, and I was completely lost. I had no clue what I was wanting what to do with my life. I felt alone. I felt, yeah, it was very harsh. And it also started a journey to find myself and notice that a lot of my beliefs were grounded into a sense of I have to do stuff. There is obligations, shoulds. I was operating a lot from a place of should, and I completely lost sight about what I actually really wanted. What I wanted, what was lighting me up, what I felt passionate about, what I really loved. And part of the discovery is that I lost tremendous self-trust in making myself do things, in pushing through, in striving, in I yeah, making myself do things that I actually didn't want to do. And I believe that there is another way of actually moving forward in one's life that is closer to following following what we love, following what we're actually deeply desiring. Not desiring from a sense of craving, but from a sense of being curious about, being passionate about, being enlivened about. And most people, from my experience, seem to think that if they give themselves the time to rest, the time and being kind with themselves about not doing things that they don't want to do, they will end up being lazy or end up being or like having the things that are important for survival or something is not being taken care of. And part of my discoveries has been that through giving myself some time to rest, giving myself some time to learn how to love myself, learn how to access love that is always present in myself that I couldn't imagine was possible before. And being kind to myself and following, noticing what I'm actually curious about or what I'm actually uh, feeling excited about. There was a way for me in that following that path. It's often called like the way of the heart. Following my heart, following my truth, has been possible release from burning out, from feeling disconnecting, feeling lost, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, all of that. When I follow what I love, create from a sense of joy, and everything is unfolding around that. So here is question, I think. Do you find that you're trying to make yourself do things? And if so, can you wonder about what is actually, what do you feel attracted about, or what do you love? And can you give yourself a little bit of time to just do what you love, even if it's not your full-time thing, but just like giving yourself like 1 hour maybe to start out of your schedule, to just give yourself some space to do exactly just what you want, nothing else than just exactly what you want. That's my invitation for you. And that concludes day 6, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.